Welcome to my channel.
What is your relationship with food? The next time you absent-mindedly reach out for that slice of pizza, pause and give it a thought. Are you eating because you're hungry, or are you tempted to eat because you're bored or stressed? Senior nutritionist Carlyne Remedios says that in our constant battle against time, trying to meet deadlines, and keeping up with domestic and professional commitments, we tend to forget the simple pleasures of life. One of those is enjoying food. We are so obsessed with what to eat and what not to that we rarely stop and think about how we are eating. That is precisely what mindful eating is all about. Simply put, it is using all our senses to choose and eat food, which will help satisfy our physical cues, our body's signal for hunger, rather than our emotional cues, comfort eating. This way, we learn to appreciate different flavors and aromas of food rather than simply wolf it down to fill our stomach. She explains. Adds consultant integral psychotherapist Dr. Sonara Jabari. From a biological perspective, our bodies need the right type of food to function properly, as diseases and compromised health conditions have been scientifically linked to malnutrition. Understanding how we eat, when we eat and why we eat is necessary to correct our unstable relationship with food. Today, satisfying hunger in urban metropolitan areas has become increasingly easier due to the 24/7 accessibility we have to food. We eat sugary, fatty, fried and salty foods not to only fill our stomachs, but to help us deal with stress and assuage other disturbing emotions such as depression, loneliness, boredom, anxiety and anger, she says. Mindless eating versus conscious eating. Eating in a fast-paced, hyper-stimulated and highly pressure world becomes a coping mechanism to face the numerous demands made on us on a daily basis. Have you ever sat in front of the TV or in a cinema hall with a tub of popcorn and plowed through the whole thing in the course of the film? Or sipped a drink and chatted with a friend while devouring bowls of nuts and chips at a cocktail party? Or polished off a whole bar of chocolate while sitting in front of your computer trying to meet deadlines? In such instances, people don't realize how much or how quickly they eat. This is called mindless eating. An antidote to this would be to mindfully observe and understand our experience of hunger and relationship to food. By being mindful, one pays attention to the moments when and why one wants to eat, the food one eats and the act of one's eating without being judgmental. By being focused on how we feed ourselves, we can aid a more sophisticated self-awareness of ourselves and our subliminal desires and drives that motivate us to eat, as well as enable a balanced relationship with food and body size. The reason behind why we overeat, starve, grow fat, become skinny, anorexic, bulimic or obese have a lot to do with how we are psycho-emotionally processing our sense of self and the stresses we encounter. Hence, it is imperative to pay attention to the emotional states behind one's eating habits and working with them if they are disturbed, explains Dr. Jabari. Simple tips for mindful eating. By practicing the below-mentioned tips regularly, one will be able to eventually establish a new relationship with food. You will realize that there is no need to beat yourself up if you indulge in a piece of cake, because if you eat mindfully, you will satisfy your taste buds and won't go through the entire slice. Don't stress yourself into trying everything at once. Try one thing at a time and practice it with different foods and encourage your family to practice it as well. In time, you will notice that you don't need crash diets to be healthy and keep the weight off, says Carlyne. Eat slowly and chew your food well. Learn to recognize the feeling of fullness so that you eat less. Remember, it takes at least 20 minutes for the signal to reach from your stomach to your brain to say that it's full, so give yourself time between each mouthful. Put your fork/spoon down between each bite. This will help you complete one bite at a time. If you're eating, avoid watching television, eating on your work table or talking on the phone. Concentrate on one thing at a time. Learn to appreciate the different flavors and textures of the food by savoring each bite. Pay attention to the crunchiness of an apple or carrot, the smooth texture of yogurt or the tartness of a lemon. Think before you eat, ask yourself if you are really hungry or if you eating out of stress. Put inspirational lines on your refrigerator, pantry door or kitchen cabinet to help you stop and think before reaching out for food. Train your mind. Nutritionist Carlyne Remedios says that one needs to understand that everything is a mind game. When you succumb to unhealthy foods on the grounds that things are not going your way, it is a lack of acceptance and confidence in oneself. Such behavior will soon translate into addiction, reflect in blood chemistry and can lead to obesity and metabolic syndrome diseases. Before you consume any food or beverage, ask yourself if it is going to help you achieve your health, fitness and performance goals, or detract from them. Your motto should be to eat with a purpose and not foolishly, she says.